Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth, and this is my TUF'ER Journey update the week of September 27th. I had to start this over because I said August. I'm like, oh my gosh, time is flying. I apologize that I did not make a video last week. And thank you for those of you who messaged me and said you missed it. I really appreciate that. It makes me feel good to know that people are actually watching these silly videos. But I have been a sick puppy. I started feeling badly last week about this time, and besides the fact that I felt terribly and I didn't really feel like making a video, you couldn't really understand me because I was so stopped up and congested, and it was nasty. So anyway, I kind of have 2 weeks to share with you, but I'm going to make it quick. I'm still sick. I finally went to the doctor yesterday. I'm so stubborn about going to the doctor. And they did a chest x-ray, and I just have a history of getting pneumonia pretty easily. And it usually starts out as allergies, and then it turns into bronchitis, and then bronchitis turns into pneumonia. So I was concerned that it was getting to that point because my chest was hurting really badly. I missed several days of workout last week just because I was so miserable, and tried to come back in on Monday of this week and then again on Tuesday. And like when I got on the treadmill and just did my normal walking pace, my lungs were seriously on fire. It just was awful. And I only lasted about 30 minutes on Monday and 40 on Tuesday, so that's when I knew it was time to go to the doctor. So anyway, they diagnosed me with acute bronchitis and borderline pneumonia. Like if I'd waited a couple more days, it probably would have gotten that bad. So I'm on a steroid, which I'm not real happy about because they make you gain weight. I mean, I've just been on it since yesterday afternoon, and I'm like famished. I just want to shove food down my throat constantly. So that's been a struggle. And then I'm on an antibiotic. So hopefully by the weekend I will be able to breathe, and my chest is still, like the congestion in my chest is still pretty tight. So anyway, enough about my ailments. Shayla had her baby on Wednesday, and he's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I mean, other than my own kids, of course. He is beautiful, and I'm so happy for her. He is just a little angel baby. So it's been an interesting challenge not having her in the gym with me. And I know that she's always available to me by phone. I mean, seriously, like, she had her baby on Wednesday. Thursday, she's texting me wanting to know where my scale pick is, where are my workout notes, you know, my watch pictures and stuff. And I'm like, what the freak? You just had a baby. But I did tell her I was very sick, so I hadn't worked out, and I was just... Anyway, so it's been a challenge to not have her there. I know that she's available by phone if I need her, and that's good, but just physically being able to see her on a daily basis. So it's kind of made me a bit introspective about where I'm at in my journey. Interestingly enough, I follow like these motivational quote things on Facebook, and I think it was yesterday or the day before that this motivational quote came up, and it was talking about to stop looking outside of yourself for motivation and encouragement to work hard and to stay on plan, and to start looking inside yourself for that. And I was like, oh my gosh, how timely is that? Because I'm such a people pleaser, and I love to get praise and encouragement from other people. And if I don't get that, then I immediately am like, oh crap, what have I done wrong? Or I'm a loser. I mean, it's so jacked up. It's totally whack. But that's just how my mind functions. And so I know it's something like a character flaw that I need to work on. And this is a good time to do it because my biggest cheerleader is at home taking care of her baby for a few weeks before she gets back in. So being off plan this past week and a half, and not being in the gym, and my eating hasn't been what it should be because pretty much I've been eating what makes me feel better. Like I'm sick and I just want comfort food, and I want ice cream that makes my throat feel better, and stuff like that. It's been discouraging to me. And then being on this stupid steroid, Shayla told me not to even get on the scale till 3 days after I've stopped it, because otherwise it will discourage me so badly. And so yeah, all of that's kind of brought me down a little bit. And so and it's been humbling. I hope this is making sense. I kind of feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but I finally hit that 50-pound mark, and I was on such a high from that, and now I feel like I'm just kind of not in a tailspin, but just maybe have taken a few steps back. And so that's been really humbling for me too, and it's eye-opening. I was just thinking on it tonight. Even 5 months into this journey that I'm on, I still struggle with food, and I guess that's maybe the difference between me and other people who are overweight, from like who were thin before and then gained weight from pregnancies or whatever, and just need to get back in shape. But for me, it's been a lifelong struggle because I have a true addiction to food. And so, even 5 months into my journey, I'm still addicted to food. I still look to it for comfort. I still look to it for, I don't know, if I'm feeling discouraged or lonely or happy or, whatever. Just, I think I talked about this a couple of weeks ago in a video, just looking at food as a filler, to fill up whatever I feel like I'm lacking. So anyway, so lots still to work on, and I guess I'm realizing it's not going to be just a quick fix deal, and it might always be a battle for me. So I have to get my big girl boots on and my big girl britches and just stick in it, stick to it and fight hard. So anyway, I hope all that made sense. So all that to say, I know I've gained at least 2 pounds since I hit the 50-pound mark, and then I'm probably going to gain a little bit more with this steroid. But at the same time, I know that once I'm truly feeling better, I'm going to get back in the gym and get back on my program and work hard, and it'll come right back off. So it's setting me back from my goal as far as time goes, but I know it's still going to come back off. So try not to get too stressed out about that. I was supposed to walk a 5K this weekend with my family and a lot of friends and stuff this weekend in Flower Mound, and my doctor said, no, you don't need to do that. So I'll still be there. I'm going to cheer on my son who's running with his cross-country team, and then my family who will be jogging it, I guess. I wanted to tell you, though, about this, not this week, but last Monday night, I had to go work out at night because my son Sam was sick during the day. And so I had to wait for my husband to get home. And after boot camp, I stayed and I went to Heidi's yoga class. And typically the only yoga I've gone to is restorative, which is like pure relaxation, or gentle yoga, which is more holding, poses for a long time and really more stretching you out. So this particular class that Heidi did, I asked her before I went in, I'm like, are you sure this is okay for me? And she's like, sure, I'll give you modifications, you'll be fine. Oh my gosh, it kicked my butt. I burned like 500 calories in that class. I could not believe it. It was lots of flows, which is where you do one pose right into another, and you don't really rest at all. And at one point, I was like out of breath. I couldn't even keep my yoga breath going. And so I was like standing over to the side, and Heidi was so sweet. She was, how she like talks while you're doing the stuff and giving instructions. And she goes, and it's always a good idea to go into child's pose if you're feeling overwhelmed or out of breath. She was totally talking to me. And so, so I was in child's pose a lot during that class, but it was so cool to see where I could be one day. Like they did some inversions and stuff, which I just sat back and watched. It was amazing. Although she did give me a modification for it, but I was like, wow, I totally want to be able to do that one day. And I know I will be when I get strong enough. But I mean, she gave me a few modifications and I kept up with the flows, which was really good, I thought. So anyway. Okay, well, I guess that's all I have for you. I just want you guys to know I'm not perfect and it is a struggle, but I'm determined to push through and to continue on my weight loss plan. So if you are struggling and having a hard time, and please know that I know how you feel and I understand, but don't give up. I've got a couple of friends who are just struggling to get back on track right now too, and I just want to encourage you. You've come so far, and please don't give up. Please don't give up, and talk to somebody. Get your encouragement from somebody, and even look within yourself. Why did you start this in the first place? And look how much better you feel now. Don't stop. Okay, I love you guys, and I will talk to you next week. Take care.